Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Today we will get the story for you. You know how people say, honesty is the best policy? Yeah, he treated like that. He treated that like a loaded weapon. They called him Leo in the papers, but that was not his real name. His real name changed every time someone got too curious. And Leo, so called, was just the one that stuck the longest, like chewing gum on a shoe. He didn't hack banks, didn't forge signatures, didn't run Ponzi schemes. His crime, technically, was nothing. He just told the truth at the exact worst possible moment. The first time he realized he was good at it, he was 19, bored, and walking in a cheap cafe that smelled like a burned coffee and disappointment. Every morning, this guy in a suit would sit in the corner pretending to type very important emails. But Leo had this hobby. He watched people like other people watch TV. One morning, suit guy forgets his phone on the table. It lights up. Leo doesn't touch it. He just reads what's on the screen as he wipes the table. Message from wife. Text. Good luck on your trip. Love. Kiss from me and the kids. Text. Then another message from Nastya. Text. Still on for tonight, baby. Can't wait. The same timestamp. And Leo doesn't judge. He's not a moralist. He's a receptionist to reality. He just files the information in his head and moves on. That afternoon, suit guy is back with wife. This time, she's all bright eyes and nervous smiles. You can see she still cares. The kind of woman who irons shirts by habit and believes people when they say they are busy at work. Wife asks for the restroom. Suit guy turns to answer, then looks at Leo with this arrogant, lazy entitlement like Leo's heir. Check, bro. He snaps his fingers. Leo brings the bill, polite, quiet. Wife comes back. She asks, "Did you finish that call you were on outside?" He lies. Client, boring stuff. And Leo feels it. This itch under his skin, not anger, not pity, just this annoying buzzing observation. You're playing her, and she's playing loyal, and no one invited reality to this table. So Leo does something that will more or less ruin his chances of keeping this job. He looks at wife, not at the guy, at her. Mom, he says very gently, your husband's phone has been blowing up all morning. If he tells you he's too busy for messages, just don't believe him. He doesn't add anything, doesn't say so-called cheating, doesn't say nasty with a kiss emoji. He just drops that small sharp piece of truth in the silence between them and walks away. Wife's smile flickers like a bad connection. Suit guy goes pale. And Leo, for the first time in his life, watched how one sentence rearranges a person's world. 2 days later, he's fired. 1 week later, the couple stops showing up. 3 months later, the story becomes his favorite little experiment replay. And somewhere between you fired and please turn your prawn. Leo realizes something. Lies cause drama, but truth dropped at the right second, detonates like C4. Fast forward a few years, Leo is no longer wiping tables. He graduated to better stage, corporate corridors, hotel lobbies, charity gala receptions, places where people wear sincerity like rented tuxedos. He doesn't run cons in the classic sense, and he doesn't pretend to be a prince, doesn't fake inheritances, doesn't slide into boxes with so-called I have a business proposal energy. No, his style is laser, cleaner, more elegant. He just shows up where pressure is already building and taps the glass. Take the charity king, for example, mid 40s, charming, famous for like a saving children in a faraway countries, always on local TV with like a wet puppy eyes and violin music in the background. His foundation raises millions. His Instagram is a shrine to stage goodness. Leo doesn't know him personally, he doesn't care. What he cares about is numbers. And numbers, unlike people, do not pretend. So one night, out of boredom and badly timed espresso, Leo dives into the Foundation's annual report, open source, public, legal. Nobody hides the bodies in locked folders anymore. They drone them in PDFs, and he sees it. Not embezzlement, not some wild illegal stunt, just the truth. Big donations moved between administrative costs and consulting services, always ending suspiciously close to one particular private company. Stakeholders, Charity King's cousin and his golf buddy. Perfectly legal on paper, obscene in reality. Leo doesn't call the police, he doesn't leak documents to the press. That would be normal, predictable, boring. Instead, he waits. He waits until the night of the big annual charity ball. Chandeliers, overpriced flowers, champagne that tastes like ego. Charity King is there, glowing under the warm lights, about to start a speech on transparency and our children's future. Leo, of course, is not on the guest list, but security guards do not question a guy in a tux holding a stack of programs and walking fast like he belongs. Confidence is the cheapest keycard. He slides into the hall, picks his moment, and during mainline breaks, he drifts quietly between donors, not lying, not inventing, just whispering. Did you know 37% of last year's donation went to a consulting firm owned by his cousin? Funny, isn't it? These administrative costs grew faster than the number of kids actually helped. You can check the repost yourself, page 18, it's all public. No exaggerations, no forged numbers, just unedited, unvarnished truth. He moves like a rumor with legs. By the time Charity Kings gets on the stage, the room's energy has shifted. People are still smiling, but now they are watching him like a magician whose sleeves they suddenly want to see turn inside out. He feels it. Of course he does. People who live on administration can smell doubt like smoke. He stumbles in his speech, says transparency twice too many times. Later, donor starts pulling out. Some do not renew contacts. One board member resigns. No dramatic explosions, just slow motion collapse. And Leo, he made money from it because he quietly advised one of the major donors a month before. I will point out where you existing to. I will point out where your existing charities are playing the optics game. He said, not illegal, just disgusting. You can decide what to do with it. Consulting fee, clean invoice, no lies. By then, the police had a file on him. It started small reports of suspicious interference, coincidental disruptions, unexplained leaks. No one could prove anything. He didn't hack. He didn't blackmail. He didn't falsify a single document. He was the ghost of bad timing. And one detective in particular got obsessed. Detective Norwalk. Tired eyes, coffee breath, the permanent expression of man who's seen too much stupidity to be impressed by cleverness. Novak had a timeline. Whenever someone's carefully curated life imploded, a CEO's affair exposed the worst possible board meeting, a mayor's secret deal surfacing 3 days before election day, a celebrity's private agreement accidentally mentioned in an interview somewhere in the blurry margins of CCTV or guest list. There he was. Leo, wrong place, right time, every time. They tried to call it a con, but where was the con? He never promised fake investments. He never presented forged evidence. He never demanded money with threats. People paid him voluntarily for so-called consulting, for reputation audits, for risk mapping, and every single time what he delivered was true, painfully, surgically true. And one of his favorite jobs he had never admitted, but you could see it in the way he smirked when asked about that politician, happened in a quiet city with loud billboards. The mayor was running on a family values campaign, of course. Cute children, gentle wife, dog, barbecue Sundays, the full package. Leo got contacted not by an enemy but by someone in the mayor's own team. A nervous looking advisor with a receding hairline and moral flexibility. We just need to know what can blow up, the man said. If we know it first, we can control it. Leo raised an eyebrow. You sure you want to know? Truth is like a bleach, cleans, but also ruins your favorite clothes. The advisor insisted, money wired, contact signed. So Leo did what he always does best. He dug, but only where the soil was already cracked. He never broke into anything. He read open sources, modest paywalled archives, old local news, forgotten blogs. He scrolled through social media posts people assumed were buried under a new content. And there it was, a quiet donation 15 years earlier when the mayor was just a local businessman, an anonymous contribution to a shale foundation later linked to a human trafficking ring. Never prosecuted, never front page news, just one of those half rotten facts the world never properly cleans. The mayor never touched anyone, didn't recognize anything but his money helped grease the wheels of, of something monstrous, whether he knew it or not. So Leo gave the report to the advisor, full data, dates, sums, documents, no commentary. You wanted to know what could blow up, he said. This is not a spark, it's a fuel tank. The advisor went white. We can bury this, right? Blair shrugged. You can try, but now it also exists in your conscience, which is unreliable storage. The advisor panicked, and because people do panic things, he tried to quietly fix the problem by reaching out to someone else who fixed things. That someone else was already selling half truths to the opposing campaign. Within weeks, the story leaked, not the full, nuanced, painful reality, but enough of headline to destroy the family values poster boy. The city went wild. Talk shows, angry posts, hashtag, and somewhere in the noise, one detective gritted his teeth. Knock. He knew Leo had been there, knew he found the match and handed it to the other to the one person most likely to drop it near gasoline. But how do you charge a man with giving someone their own truth? You can't arrest a mirror. The funny part, Leo didn't think he was evil. If you'd ask him, sitting across from him in some like a dim bar where he's sitting stirring ice cubes like the tiny planets, he would be shocked. I just don't lie, he would say. Everyone else is already lying enough for both of us. You profit from ruining people, you might argue. He would tilt his head amused. They ruin themselves. I just cut the delay between cause and effect. Efficiency upgrade. Did he ever feel guilty? There was one time, a small case, almost forgettable. A woman came to him, like mid-30s, quiet eyes, like someone who had been who hadn't slept properly since a bad year. She didn't want revenge or money or dirt on enemies. She just wanted to know if her husband was still cheating on her or if she was crazy. He found the answer: yes, the husband was cheating with a co-worker several times recently. No ambiguity. For the first time, Leo hesitated because he knew exactly what would happen. He would say she would break, the marriage would implode, kids would pick sides, therapy bills, silent dinners. He considered softening it, diluting the concentration of truth, saying something like there were suspicious messages but nothing certain. But that would be his first real lie. And he had superstition. Once you start lying, you're playing the same pathetic game as everyone else. So he told her, plain direct, no sugar. She cried, of course she did, the kind of crying that looks like someone unplugged her from all the illusions she'd been running. Then she thanked him. Not dramatically, not you saved my lifestyle, just calmly. Now I know, she said, now I can stop guessing. He walked home that night with this heavy feeling in his chest. Not regret exactly, more like truth isn't always right, but it's always honest. And sometimes that's the only mercy people get. Eventually, Novak cornered him. Not in like um, cinematic alley, no rain, no neon, just a bland hallway outside, like a courthouse. Fluorescent lights humming like bored insects. Novak said, leaning against the wall, it would be easier if you just stole something, robbed a bank, hit somebody. This thing you do is worse. Leo smirked. You can't prosecute wars, only illegal. The detective started him for a long moment, no anger, just tired curiosity. Why do you do it? He asked. What's the point? Money, ego, revenge on humanity? And Leo considered lying for 1 second just for the irony of it. Instead, he answered honestly, like always. Because everyone's already sitting on bombs, he said. I just don't see the point of pretending that ticking is like a background noise. Novak snorted. You push people over the edge and call it honesty. Leo's smile faded into something almost thoughtful. No, I walk them to the edge. They jump themselves. The detective straightened, annoyed by how annoyingly logical that sounded. One day, Novak said, you're going to hand the truth to the wrong person, and they're going to do something so bad somebody will trace it back to you, and then we'll see how your little philosophy holds up. Leo's eyes flickered with something unreadable. Maybe, he said, or maybe I will just retire before then, buy a house in the middle of nowhere, torment the neighbors with accurate feedback about their cooking. He gave a lazy two-finger salute and walked away. Novak watched him. That same question pounding is in his skull. How do you arrest someone for not lying? The world kept spinning. People kept lying. And Leo kept doing what he did best, breaking the illusion that time will kindly bury the truth for you. He didn't leave fake trails, he didn't frame people, he didn't write anonymous letters packed with venom and fiction. He simply waited until a moment when a particular truth would hurt the most, and then carefully, almost gently, he let it fall out of his mouth. Information, he would say, if you pushed him, is never neutral. Tell someone the right thing at the wrong moment, and it's no different from a bullet. He never fabricated anything. He just aimed.